Done, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Very, very good evening to one and all. And I see there are just 11 participants. So we'll just give them 1 more minute and then we'll get started. Yeah, it's already 5:30. So yes, let's get started. And I would request all of you to please do the prayers first. Okay, and then we'll get started. So we're going to pray to the spiritual master. We're going to pray to Lord Ramachandra himself. We're going to pray to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then we'll be reciting the Mahamantra. Okay, I request all of you to please join your palms, close your eyes, and repeat the prayers after me. I know I cannot hear you, but the Lord is hearing. That's more important. Okay, please repeat the prayers after me. Om Agnana Timirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaurabhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you everyone for joining the day 2 of our Ramayana Kids Camp. I hope you all enjoyed yesterday's Balakanda, which was filled with Lord Rama's childhood pastimes. So today we are going to move on to the second Kanda, that is Ayodhya Kanda. Before that, let me ask you a few questions, okay? Just to see, how well you've heard the entire story yesterday. Okay, I'll also go online so that I can see your answers. Okay, anyways, I already mentioned which Kanda we actually learned yesterday. Can you tell me which value we learned yesterday in relation to the Kanda? Which value did we learn? Waiting for your answers. Hare Krishna. So I see Jai Narayan, Soumya, Lavitra, Bharat, Sangeeta, Sarita. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Yes, dear, I'm waiting for you. So what was that one particular value we learned yesterday, children? Dedication to the teacher. Fantastic, Lavitra. Humility, right? Humbleness and gentleness. We've seen how Lord Ramachandra and Lord Lakshmana was serving Vishwamitra. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, what are the other things we learned yesterday? Let's see how many. Yes, humility, absolutely. Humbleness, yes. Can you at least tell me two more wonderful things we learned yesterday? Okay, dedication towards teachers. Fantastic. Anything else? Okay, not just values. What else did we learn yesterday? What do you recollect? At least any 2 points. Gentleness, okay. Humility, okay. So those are the values. Fantastic. But apart from the values, what else do you remember? Should not be proud. Very, very important, right? So yesterday we seen how, as our knowledge increases, we tend to become very proud at certain point. But intelligent people, what do? As and when their knowledge increases, they realize, oh, how little do I know, right? So fantastic, very good. Obeying elders, respecting elders, learning knowledge in a humble way. Lord Ram defeated Thataka. Yes, he killed Thataka, obeying elders, Balakanda of Lord Rama. Fantastic. So all of you are very alert. Rama and Lakshmana using their weapons on their own. Okay, so they were taught how to use. They were actually empowered with various weapons by Vishwamitra because of their humility once again. Very little. Yes, we know very little, but we think we know. So you remember that circle, the blue circle is what actually we need to know. The green circle is actually what we know, but the red circle is what we think we know. So proud. Respecting elders. Yes, respecting Tataka was she was not, I mean, more than a human, she was an apsara. She was actually a very beautiful maiden. Yes, sages cursed her to become a demon. Very nice. Brave, arrogance is bad. Yes, he freed Ahalya of her curse. Fantastic, children. Fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So I think we are ready to start off with our today's Kanda. Just give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen. Okay, so welcome to day 2 once again. And I believe you all had a very blissful day. First was, of course, we started off our camp, but the second thing was, it was the birthday of Lord Ramachandra, right? So we are in day 2 of our Ramayana Kids Camp, which is an initiative taken by Harmonix. Okay, and as I mentioned, today we're going to look at the second Kanda, which is the Ayodhya Kanda. Okay, just give me a minute here. Please give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. It's a small glitch. Okay, let's continue. All right, so this is an initiative taken by Harmonix. And as always, all our sessions are dedicated to His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he is actually the Jagat Guru. So yesterday we learned we should always offer our heartfelt respects to our teachers. Okay, only then they will impart us with knowledge. So whatever I'm able to speak, whatever I'm able to convey, it is all because of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so let's get started with today's Ayodhya Kanda. You're all eagerly waiting. So it starts like this. One day what happens, Dasharatha Maharaj is running on the roads of Ayodhya and he's being chased by a very, very ferocious, huge, like a mountain demon. And Dasharatha Maharaj is like running, exasperated, and he's, very scared looking at the demon. So this demon is chasing, and at one point, he actually catches Dasharatha Maharaj and he's about to gobble him up. Okay? Suddenly, Dasharatha Maharaj shakes and wakes up. So actually, he was not on the roads of Ayodhya, but it was a very, very horrifying dream that Dasharatha Maharaj gets. See, it's not just that day, but past couple of days, Dasharatha Maharaj keeps encountering a lot of bad omens. Bad omens is something, like a lot of negativity around, some kind of signs which is kind of telling him that something very bad is going to happen, something very inauspicious is going to happen. Okay, so Dashrath Maharaj sits and thinks these signs are not really good. So before something bad happens, I should install my dear son, Lord Rama, as the next heir. So next heir as in, see, basically what happens once the king gets old, he's about to retire, he has to install his elder son on the throne. Okay, this is the custom that's followed, because a kingdom without a king is absolutely, it's like orphans without parents. So it's very, very important that the king has to install his son. Okay, so he was thinking of who else is the best person. Of course, Lord Ramachandra, who is Dasharatha's favorite. He was also the eldest. He possessed all the qualities to become a son. He was the darling of Ayodhya. Okay, so this is what were the thoughts running in Dasharath Maharaj's mind. And the next day, what he did in his court, he called everybody, all his advisors, his well-wishers, friends, everybody, and he shared, this is what I'm thinking. I think I should install Lord Ramachandra as the next heir. What is your opinion? And everybody screamed, Jai, Jai Shri Ram, because everybody loved Shri Ram. And when they heard this, this was like, um, you know, uh, it was like a treat to their hearts and to their ears, that what a wonderful news this was. Okay, and Dashrath Maharaj thought, yes, who else can be unhappy? Everybody loves Lord Ramachandra. After that, he goes back to his palace and he still starts, encountering, he's still very uneasy. So he calls Lord Ramachandra and says, Rama, this is what I'm thinking. I want you to become the next king. And Lord Rama obediently, he offers respects to his father and he says, I will obey your orders. Okay. And he says, okay, now we have to start making all the arrangements. So he first consults Vasishta, who is the Kula Guru. Vasishta Muni was the one who did the naming ceremony of Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrughna. Right. So for everything, so you can see, whenever we have to take big decisions in our lives, we should always go to people who are elders in age, who are experienced, because they've seen more life than us. Okay, so here we are talking about very big decisions. It could be like you're all children, very soon you will come to high school, then you'll have to go to college, then which course to take in the college, what kind of professional career path I should choose. So when you have to make such decisions, always consult somebody who is well experienced in all this. So big, very big decisions, please take the opinion. And see, Lord Ramachandra, what is he teaching? Yesterday we seen the whole Ramayana is journey of Lord Ramachandra, and with every act of his, he's teaching us, the mere human beings, how to lead our lives. So we always give this example. Whenever you buy any toy, electric toy, right, it comes with a small manual, how to use it, how to switch it on, how to operate, right? So like that, even in our lives, it's very, very important that these wonderful scriptures like Bhagavad Gita tells us what is to be done, what is not to be done. And Lord Ramachandra's life history tells how we should behave. That's why he incarnated himself as a human being, so that he can teach us how we should lead our lives. So we should always pray to Lord Ramachandra and try to follow in his footsteps as much as possible. Very, very important. Okay, so as we can see, when King Dasharatha, everybody, right, they were all following the topmost rules. So he, approached Vasishta Muni and he told, this is my wish. And Vasishta Muni was very happy. And he said, okay, let's start making arrangements. As I told, Dasharatha was a little uneasy and he thought, see, basically when somebody has to be, it's called coronation ceremony, where, okay, they're going to put the throne and declare him as the king. It takes a very long period. There are so many yagnas, processes. So Dasharath Maharaj was thinking, no, I don't think so. I should delay it too much. I think it should happen tomorrow. Okay. So again, he calls he had many ministers, but one of the most dear minister, one of the most loyal ministers was Sumantra. Okay, so he calls Sumantra and he tells Sumantra, please call Lord Ramachandra. Okay, again, he calls Lord Ramachandra and says, Rama, I'm not going to wait for a long time. So this coronation should happen tomorrow. So please do one thing. You start fasting. Okay, so anything that is very auspicious that has to happen, we should, kind of go through some kind of austerities. So fasting, being in a very prayerful mood, setting the right mindset, all this is very important. Right? So again, Lord Ramachandra is teaching us all that. So Lord Ramachandra says, as you say, Father. Okay. So once Vasishta Muni gives his go and, he says, Sumantra, start making all the arrangements, and Sumantra goes and the whole Ayodhya gets to know that Ramachandra is getting coronated. They are like so joyful, so jubilant. Their dear Lord, their darling of Ayodhya is getting coronated. So then Sumantra is told to decorate the entire roads with fragrant flowers, beautiful lights, sprinkle, scented water. I mean, imagine, right? So they said, just decorate. There's never, decorated in such a way that there was never a celebration that was done like this. So Sumantra takes the orders and everybody are busy preparing. The whole Ayodhya is busy preparing. Okay, so Lord Ramachandra obeys his father's orders. He goes to his palace and he starts fasting. Okay, now when all this is happening, one thing we have to remember is Bharata and Shatrughna, they were not present in the kingdom of Dasharatha. Okay, so they had just gone to visit their maternal grandfather in Kaikeyi. Okay, Kaikeyi is the name of the kingdom. That's why the second queen, yesterday we were seeing, no, Dasharatha had 3 queens. One is Kaushalya, second is Kaikeyi, third is Sumitra. So Kaikeyi gets her name because she comes from Kaikeyi Desha. All right. So these Bharata and Shatrughna, they had actually gone to their maternal uncle's house to meet and spend some time with their maternal grandfather. So what happens when all these arrangements were going on and everybody were in a joyful mood? Just take a look at the picture that you see on the screen. Do you see this woman who's slightly hunched? Hunched as in somebody will have a hump on their back. Okay, and they're bent. Now this woman, her name is Manthara. Okay, so when Kaikeyi got married to Dasharatha, Kaikeyi's father gifted Manthara as a maid servant to Kaikeyi. Usually when a girl gets married, especially those days, if they go from one kingdom to another, they would send somebody along with them. So Manthara was actually given as a well-wisher to Kaikeyi. Okay, so Manthara just goes to the terrace and she sees what is happening. Why everybody are so joyous? What is this pomp and show? What is all this happening? Right? And then she inquires from one of them and she gets to know that Lord Ramachandra is going to be the king. He'll be declared the king the next day. And Manthara is a very envious person. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background about Manthara. Okay, so if you remember, when Lord Brahma and all the devatas got to know from Lord Vishnu himself. Yesterday we mentioned, I hope you remember. So we got to know that Lord Vishnu is going to take avatar as Lord Ramachandra. Lord Brahma told all the devatas to take birth in the Vanara clan. Right? Why? Because he wanted Nandi's curse to come true. Because these are the Vanaras who will actually help Lord Ramachandra in destroying Ravana. Correct? So there were many people who took birth to assist, and this Manthara was an Apsara. Okay, even she was asked, and she took up such a tough task of banishing Lord Ramachandra. It's not so easy. Of course, when she took birth as a hunchback, she forgot that she was Apsara. Okay, so coming back to what happened, she heard that Lord Ramachandra is going to be the king. She immediately comes running to Kaikeyi's palace. Now in this palace, Kaikeyi is happily, swinging and she's enjoying because she already got to know that her dear Lord Ramachandra, Kaikeyi loves Lord Ramachandra as much as she loves Bharata. Okay, and this Manthara, from the time she came, she was always envious of Kaushalya. Why? Because Kaushalya was the first queen of Dasharatha Muni. So this jealousy of this co-wives and all, unfortunately Kaikeyi never had, but for some reason Manthara had. That my dear Kaikeyi is the second wife, and she's the first queen and all this. And also she had envy towards Lord Ramachandra, unfortunately. So now what happened? She came running and she's seen Kaikeyi so relaxed, she's so happy, and she comes and tells, Kaikeyi, what is happening tomorrow? Your husband didn't even consult you and he's just gone and declared Lord Ramachandra. And look at how cunning he is. He's done this when your son Bharata is not in the kingdom. So something that he's cooking. And Kaikeyi just ignores her words, but she only picks up that Lord Ramachandra is going to be the king, and she says, what a wonderful news you have brought for me. And she gives her the most precious jewel that she was owning and said, this is for the sweet news that you've actually treated my ears for. And what does Manthara do? She just takes and bangs it, throws it. And Kaikeyi thinks, why is she acting like this? What's wrong with her? And Manthara says, how foolish you are. You even know what's happening? If you accept this, tomorrow what will happen of you and Bharata? You know what will happen? Kaushalya will become the mother of the king and you will become her servant. And what about your son Bharata? He will become mere servant of Lord Rama. Do you really want this? Then you know how you'll be treated. So like this, little by little, Manthara will start poisoning Kaikeyi's mind. So at one point, Kaikeyi reaches a stage where she starts feeling extremely jealous of Kaushalya, and she thinks, I will not let this happen at any cost. And she asks Manthara, what do I do now? How do I stop this? And Manthara says, don't worry, I have a plan. So what has happened here? See, the people that we are with influences us so much. Kaikeyi was so calm, so innocent, right? And she was so happy for Lord Rama. And she was loving him just like how she loved Bharata. But because of one bad association like Manthara, what happened to Kaikeyi? Even her mind got disturbed. So children, this is a lesson for us also. Whom do we spend the most time? It affects us. So even in psychology, it is said that, the 5 people that you spend your life most with, their nature, the average of the 5 people's nature you acquire. It's very surprising. So let's say the 5 favorite people of yours is your dad, your mom, maybe your brother or sister, maybe one of your friends and your teacher. So these 5 people's nature, average of their nature, we actually acquire. So it's so important that we should choose our circle. Now, let's say you're spending almost 8 hours in school, right? And probably when you come back, you might spend another 1 or 2 hours with friends around your house. So be very, very careful with whom you're spending, because they tend to influence you, whether you know it or not. We can see that the example here, right? So Kaikeyi got influenced, her mind got poisoned because of Manthara's association, Manthara's constant words. She got influenced. And Manthara said, so going back to this, Kaikeyi asks, what should I do now? I want to stop this. I don't want to be a servant of Kaushalya. So Manthara says, do you remember, Kaikeyi, long time ago, Dasharatha, he had gone to fight on behalf of the Devatas. Okay, so he had actually gone to kill a particular demon, and there he got very badly injured. So what happened? You saved him. You were his charioteer. So when he was very badly injured, you took him aside, you took care of him, he gained back his strength, and he was able to defeat that horrible, horrible demon. Okay, his name was Shambara. Now, when Maharaj Dasharatha won the battle, it was because of the way you treated him. He was so happy and he asked you, I want to give you 2 boons, my dear wife. Please ask. Actually, Kaikeyi was a self-sufficient woman. She had everything. She had everything, and she told Maharaj Dasharatha, you have given me everything. I don't need anything at this point of time. If at all I need, Maybe much later, I'll ask you. Okay, so now Manthara said, do you remember those two boons? My dear Kaikeyi, it is time that now you ask for it. And she said, okay, so what are the two boons I should be asking for? And Manthara said, the first boon should be that Bharata will be made the king of Ayodhya. And second boon, ask Rama to be banished to forest at least 14 years. Okay, he should go on exile. Because while he is away, because Ayodhya was his love, Lord Ramachandra, so much. If Bharata becomes the king, it'll take time for him to gain that, that place in the hearts of Ayodhya Vasis. So let Bharata do that. And in the meantime, people will forget Ramachandra. So even when he comes back, it will not have any effect. So ask for these two boons as soon as Dasharatha comes. Okay. Then Kaikeyi thought, wow, it's very, very wonderful. And she starts praising Manthara, right? You're such a wonderful person. You're this, you're that. See, that's what happens, right? So when we get influenced by wrong people at some point, we think they are right. They are the best people we are associated with. So we should be very, very watchful of this. Okay. So then what Kaikeyi does, as ordered by Manthara, she will remove her nice garments. She'll put on some very old, tardy clothes. She'll remove her jewels, everything. And she goes to, there's something called a sulking chamber in a palace, okay, where usually people of the palace would go and mourn. So she goes into that sulking chamber. She lies on the floor and she'll be sobbing and crying, knowing that Dasharatha is going to come. So here Dasharatha is watching over all the arrangements, everything, and while passing by, he wants to visit Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is actually one of his favorite queens. Okay, so he comes to visit Kaikeyi and he's surprised to see that she's not in her palace because she never leaves the palace without at least telling him. So he inquires from the servants and he gets to know that she's sitting in that sulking chamber. He's surprised. The whole Ayodhya is celebrating. Everybody is joyous. What happened to Kaikeyi? Immediately he runs and he goes and sees the fate of Kaikeyi with that old clothes, no ornaments on her, and hair scattered, and she's lying on the floor, sobbing and crying. It breaks Dasharatha's heart. Okay, he goes, he caresses her, and he asks, what is happening to you, Kaikeyi? The whole Ayodhya is celebrating. Why are you sad? So he asked, did you have a fight with any of the co-wives? Am I not giving you enough time? What is the mistake? Please tell me. Whatever you want, I'm ready to do. Now Kaikeyi keeps quiet. She doesn't talk till she hears assurance from Dasharatha thrice. Okay? What is the assurance he's giving? I'll do whatever you want. Whatever you want, I'll give. Okay? So when he says this, then she knows, okay, now whatever I'm going to ask, he's not going to say no. And then she says, do you remember when you had gone to fight against Shambhara, on behalf of Devatas, I had saved you, you had given me two boons, and I did not ask for it. I need those two boons now. So Dasharatha starts laughing, says, is that all? What do you want? You want the entire earth? You want the portion of the earth? Because he was the ruler of the entire earth. Okay? So he asks, what do you want? She says, I don't want all that. And she puts forth her request. What did she wanted? She wanted her son to be made the king, and she wanted Rama to be sent on exile for 14 years. Now, hearing this, Dasharatha just faints. He becomes unconscious. Okay? And after some time, he tries to regain conscious and he just wishes, oh, I just wish this is a bad dream. This is not true. But then when he sees that Kaikeyi is sitting with all the tardy clothes, he says, oh, she's really requesting for it. That means this is true. Again, he faints. So he again gains consciousness. Sometimes he begs and pleads, or he even falls on her feet telling, please don't do this. If you want, I'll make your son the king, but don't separate me from my dear Lord, Rama. Okay, sometimes he begs her, sometimes he gets up, he starts blasting her, says, such a wicked woman you are. How can you even think of banishing Rama? Rama was such a personality that anybody would just look at him, they cannot take their eyes off. Such wonderful son of ours. You were also so dear, you were also loving him so much. What's wrong today? Right? So he falls, he scolds her, he begs her, this goes on and on so many times. And then at one point, Dasharatha realizes this woman is stubborn. She's just not going to budge. But in the meantime, here what had happened, Sumantra, as per the instruction of Vasishta Muni, made all the arrangements and he wanted to give the report to Dasharatha. Okay, so he gets to know that Dasharatha is in the palace of Kaikeyi. So he comes to give this information, and when he enters the palace, he sees something is not right. Dasharatha Muni's eyes are red, he's cried so much, he's so sad. And then when he asks, my dear master, what happened? Kaikeyi says, oh, don't worry. Tomorrow is a big day and Dasharatha has not slept. So that is why. But I want you to call Lord Rama immediately. So Sumantra takes it as an instruction from Dasharatha, King Dasharatha himself, and he goes and calls Ramachandra. So Ramachandra is residing in a different palace in Ayodhya itself. So when he goes and calls that your father is calling for you immediately, Rama thinks, okay, maybe there is some more purificatory processes and all to be done. Probably that's why my father is calling. So he informs Sita and he comes. Now we know Lakshmana never leaves Lord Ramachandra, so Lakshmana also accompanies, but he will be standing near the gate of their palace, gate of Dasharatha Kaikeyi's palace. So when Lord Ramachandra comes in, he sees that the environment is not so good, right? Something is very morose, something is not right. And then he looks at his father, who is so pale, so sad, so dull, so disheartened. And he asks, what is wrong, my dear father? Kaikeyi says, well, your father is not in a position to speak, but I will speak on his behalf. She says, see, your father made me this promise and you should execute it. And Rama asks, what is it? And she tells, well, I want Bharata to be the king and I want you to go to the forest for 14 years. And Lord Rama says, is that all? See how equiposed Lord Rama is. Even when it was announced that he should become the king, he was not like, oh, he was jumping with joy. And now when they said you have to become, like a Rishi and walk out and stay in the forest, he was not disturbed, right? So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, right? So whether be it sukha or dukkha, just like how season changes, we know, okay, after summer there's going to be monsoon. We all know that. So we just go through that summer heat. And then when there's winter, there's so much of cold. But intelligent people never get disturbed by these situations. And that also Lord Ramachandra, because in Bhagavad Gita it is spoken, but Lord Ramachandra actually showed us how to execute, how to behave. So he was so equal in both the situations. And he said, whatever is the order of my father, I will follow it. No need to worry. Okay, this will make Dasharatha even more sad and he faints once again. Okay, and he gets back his consciousness. In the meantime, Lord Ramachandra walks out. And when the announcement of Lord Rama's coronation was done, Kaushalya was so happy, celebrating. His friends would have gone to tell her that, you know what, your son is going to be the king. And she was so happy and she was still in that mood. So first, Lord Ramachandra goes to Mother Kaushalya's palace to give this information. So mother is so happy to see her son. Tomorrow you're going to be the king, and she welcomes. And he says, wait, mother, I've got a news. Please don't lose hopes. And he tells that this is what our king, he's the king of the entire world, right? Dasharatha, he's ordered that I should go to the forest and Bharata will be made the king. And Kaushalya goes mad. She just falls on the ground. She cries. She says, what has happened? Why did I even become a mother? With so much of pain, she cries. Okay. Finally, she sees that, Lord Rama actually says, please don't, make me weak. Allow me to execute the orders of my father. All right. And he requests Mother Kaushalya to give him permission. Mother Kaushalya actually says, take me also along with you. I cannot stay away from you. Whoever wants, let them become the king. But I see that the separation from the Lord, we can see how difficult it is. We tend to get attached to little children, right? When we play with them for a little while, and if we have to leave them and go, we feel so sad. But yours, it's a supreme Lord, right? And somebody separating you from the supreme Lord, it is very, very painful for King Dasharatha and Mother Kaushalya. Okay, so while all this was happening, first of all, Lakshmana somehow tolerated. He was very angry. Lord Ramachandra stopped. Now he said, I am just going to, take away this kingdom by force for you, my brother, because this rightfully belongs. And Rama said, no, we should just obey our parents, give up your anger. Now, somehow he consoles Kaushalya, Mother Kaushalya. He tells her about the duty of a wife. He says, see, I'm your son, I'll go away, but you have to take care of your husband. So he very nicely explains all that. And then he leaves the palace. Already he starts walking barefoot, okay, towards his own palace. Why? Because he's now ordered to be like a Rishi. So he already started implementing that. When he goes, again, Mother Sita is waiting for Lord Ramachandra. She'd be wondering why was he called suddenly? Maybe there's some kind of a ceremony. But when she sees Ramachandra's face, she knows something is wrong. And, when she asks, what is it, my lord? Ramachandra reveals the news to her, and Mother Sita is very sad. She becomes very, very sad. How will, you, the Supreme Lord, you're going to live in the forest, right? But then she says, I'm going to come with you. And Rama says, no, you cannot come with me because he's worried about Sita. She's a very delicate princess, brought up in Mithila. And he says, forest is not meant for you. There are wild animals, there are demons, Rakshasas. You will not be able to survive. So I cannot take with you. That is when Sita loses her consciousness, thinking, I'm going to be separated by Rama. So you all see, nobody here is worried about Ramachandra is not becoming a king, right? That is still okay for them. But, bearing this separation from Lord Ramachandra, nobody is able to tolerate. Okay. So Mother Sita just begs. She says, see, for a woman, for a wife, there's no other shelter. Every other relationship has some other life they can lead, be it son, daughter, mother. But for a wife, only her husband is her shelter. Whether in happiness or distress, it's my duty to be with you. So like this, lot of argument happens, and Lord Ramachandra is trying to convince her, no, you will not be able to. But then Mother Sita is, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't move the slides for so long. Just give me a minute. Okay, so this is Dasharatha, where, do you see? Kaikeyi is asking for 2 boons. And yes, right? So what happens? Somehow, Lord Ramachandra gets convinced that, oh, I'm hurting my dear wife, and he gives her permission. Okay, you can come along. Now, who was with him all this while? Lakshmana. The moment Mother Sita gets permission, Lakshmana goes and falls on the feet of Lord Ramachandra and says, please take me with you. I cannot live without you. Again, there'll be a lot of argument. He says, take care of the parents. And he says, we have Bharata, Shatrugna, they will take care. Please let me accompany you. Okay. And finally, Lord Rama agrees to this proposal. So, Lord Ramachandra, Mother Sita, and Lakshmana, all 3 of them get ready to actually go to the forest. Okay. So now they come to the palace, like after Lord Ramachandra takes permission from his mother, he comes to meet King Dasharatha to take permission. By this time, what was the instruction that Kaikeyi had given? You should go like a rishi, right? So she wanted Lord Ramachandra to give up all his princely ornaments and clothes. She wanted him to wear a tree bark and a deer skin, mat his hair, and head towards the forest. And Lord Ramachandra accepted that. He was wearing tree bark, deer skin, and he comes to take permission. When Dasharatha sees him like this, he again faints. He says, how? You know what he comes and tells Lord Rama when he gains consciousness? Just capture me. It's okay. Capture me and forcefully take this kingdom. Nobody will say anything to you. Nobody will stop you. And Lord Ramachandra tells something very beautiful. You know what he says? My dear father, I will not give up virtue, virtuous life, virtuous path, just for some mere kingdom. He says virtuous path means the right path of dharma. He says, at any cost, I am not going to compromise that principle of mine just for mere kingdom. As I told you, Dasharatha was ruling the entire world. Sometimes we get so tempted for one chocolate. I'll give you this chocolate. Will you go tell a lie? And we'll say, okay, okay. I'm talking about the little ones. Maybe the big ones, they'll say, I'll give you 500 rupees. Will you do this? Yeah. So we just get so easily enchanted by these little things. But here Lord Ramachandra is ready to give up. He says, even the whole kingdom is nothing for me, but the right path is everything for me. So again, there is a lesson for us to learn. It's so important that don't give in to temptations. Don't compromise your principles. Okay. So it is wonderful, how Lord Rama is exhibiting all these and teaching us by his own example. Okay, so finally, Dasharatha tries and convinces, and he gets to know Rama is not going to budge. Rama says, "You come in the dynasty of Ikshvaku, and I don't want that your words go in vain. I will follow. My dear father, it's just a matter of 14 years and I'll be back." But Dasharatha cannot tolerate the separation. So he says, all right. And he calls Sumantara and he says, at least take the chariot, okay? Drop my son, take all the armies, take everything. My son, even though he's in the forest, he should be very comfortable there also. While he's saying this, you know what Kaikeyi says? Yeah, okay, give everything to Rama, and what will my son do? What will my son have? This time, Sumantara gets very, very angry, and he says, such a wicked woman you are. You're just like your mother. Okay, and he gives one instance. He tells a story where actually Kaikeyi's father had got a boon from one of the rishis because he had served that rishi very nicely. So he was given one boon by this rishi where he could understand many languages, not just human languages, but also the languages of animals and birds. Okay, so he said you can actually communicate, you can understand their language, everything. But he had also told one thing: if you share this, whatever communication happens, if you share this particular thing with anybody else, you will die immediately. Okay, so he was very careful. He was able to understand the language of birds, animals. He would relish, he would enjoy, but keep it to himself. So once what happens, he and his wife as in Kaikeyi's mother, okay, they would be taking a stroll, and he hears some shrill noise from certain birds, and it was a little humorous one. So he starts laughing, okay, because he was able to understand. Now, Kaikeyi's mother was walking in front, and she thought he's laughing at me. So she stops and asks him, why are you laughing? And he says, well, I heard these birds communicating and it was something very funny. That's why I laughed. Now she says, tell me, what is it? And he says, well, you know that if I say that, I'm going to die. And for that, what she says, I don't care if you die. I want to know what it is. So she becomes stubborn. And, Kaikeyi's father is all surprised and he doesn't know how to handle. So he goes back to the rishi who had given him this boon and he asks, what am I supposed to do? He says, go and chastise your wife, scold her. What is the dharma of a wife is to, be a well-wisher and take good care of the husband, not this. Go and scold her. And he goes and he chastises her and she becomes quiet. Now that is what Sumantara is mentioning. This is how you are. You are going to be the cause of death of your husband. You are going to be the cause of downfall of this dynasty. Right? He's so hurt. He starts scolding her like this. Okay. And then Rama says, let it be. He says, my dear father, I don't need anything. I don't need any kind of princely things to live comfortably. I'm supposed to live like a rishi and I will follow that. Saying so, he leaves with Mother Sita and Lakshmana. Dasharatha says, Sumantara, at least take the chariot and, leave them wherever they want to go. Now, Sumantara follows the order and all three of them, four of them, including Sumantara, they board the chariot and they start heading towards the forest. Now, Dasharatha is watching till, he cannot see the chariot anymore. And with that, he faints. He says, I cannot bear this separation from Lord Ramachandra. Now, in the meantime, what happened? The entire Ayodhya got to know that Rama is going to the forest. And everybody went mad. Nobody can stay in separation from Rama. So all the men of the houses, they start following the chariot of Lord Ramachandra. Many elderly Brahmanas will start requesting, my dear Lord, please come back, please come back. Rama doesn't look back because, he doesn't want to give up on the vow that he has taken. And when he sees that many elderly people were not able to keep up with the pace of his chariot, He's so compassionate. Yesterday we seen, right? When the nose ring was shrunk by Lakshmana and she said, it's paining. For that, he was so compassionate. Immediately he brought it back. So like this, Ramachandra is very compassionate. He's seeing that many elderly people are not able to keep up with the chariot. They love him so much. He tells Sumantra to stop the chariot and he starts walking along with the other Ayodhya Vasis. So what a wonderful Lord he is, isn't it? And then he starts walking and the Ayodhya Vasis also start walking, throughout the way. They're crying, they're begging, they're pleading their Lord to actually come back. All right, but Lord Rama says, I cannot disobey my father. I am going to execute whatever he has ordered. As you can see here, right, Lord Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, and Sumantra is driving the chariot, and you can see the people of Ayodhya, following the chariot. So what is it that is so pleasing about Lord Ramachandra that people just cannot stay away from him? That is his interpersonal dealings. Okay, how he deals with others, be it through words, be it through thoughts, be it through his physical actions. It is so very important, and he has set the right example. So children, for us also to understand, there are 3 levels of interpersonal dealings. Okay, so the first one is mental. As you can see, mental means what is your thought about another person? See, it can be like you hate a person so much, but then you're faking, yeah, I'm very happy for you. If some of your friends come and say, you know what, I got out in this test. Yeah, I'm very happy for you. But in the mind, you're like, I wish you had failed. I'm just giving you an example, right? Verbal, right? We speak extremely rude to people. Right? We are thinking bad for them, we are speaking so rudely, we are hurting them, and physical. So we're talking about the 3 levels of interpersonal dealings. One is mental, second is verbal, and third is physical. So just give me a minute, it's getting stuck. Just a second. Okay, I hope you're able to see the screen. So as we were discussing, the 3 levels of interpersonal skills are mental, verbal, and physical. Boom, boom. Right? So what's happening around the world is there is a lot of widespread deterioration in how we are dealing with other people, especially physical interpersonal dealings. See, when we talk about this, it could be in terms of our personal interaction. I'm not sure why it's hanging so much today. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're talking about how it's declining the way we are dealing with other people. So even on a personal level, you can see, there's so much of, again, the one example is like, if we have siblings, how do we deal with them, right? Within family, of course, like there's a lot of violence, and socially there's so much of violence, and internationally and nationally though, it's just well known for violence, right? So there's so much of deterioration. Everybody wants to wish bad for others. There are very few people who genuinely want to wish good for others. And because you have such thoughts, your words are like that, your dealings are like that, there's complete chaos, there's only violence around. Okay, so what is the result of all this? The human society is at the verge of breaking apart. There's no more unity. As I told you, families are breaking apart, right? So states are breaking apart, countries are breaking apart. There's so much of chaos. Now, why is this happening? Because of unclean dealings. So when I talk about unclean dealings, the unclean words we speak, the unclean thoughts we have, the unclean physical dealings we do with others, right? There's so much of unclean dealings. Now, when such things are happening, what is the main thing? See, they say the foundation of any relationship is trust. Okay, now you trust us that, okay, the Ramayana camp is going to go nice, we're going to learn something, that's why you're here. So for everything around us, right, so you trust your parents that they're going to take care of you. When your parents let you start going out for the first time, they say, okay, I trust my children that they're going to take care. So everywhere, little things, if you see, trust is the most important thing. Because of unclean dealing. Say, for example, let's say you continuously keep telling lies to your parents. What happens at some point? They lose trust. Even if you go and tell truth, at some point, they'll not believe you. Wolf story, we all know. So like this, because of the unclean dealings we have in our thoughts, in our words, the way we interact physically, the trust is being damaged, which is the foundation of any relationship. And obviously, since we know that that is the foundation of any relationship, relationships are becoming poorer and poorer, and many are actually breaking as well. So this is disturbing the whole social order that is set up in the society. Okay, so that is why Lord Krishna recommends that, especially, I mean, so we've seen the three interpersonal dealings, right? Mental, verbal, and physical. So especially verbal causes a lot of damage. Actually, they say words and arrows are the same. See, once an arrow is shot, you cannot retrieve it back. Likewise, when words are said, spoken, you cannot take it back. Right? It can just cause permanent damage. Because even sometimes physically, if you hit somebody, they might forget after some time, but words spoken can never be forgot. That's why Krishna says, have control on your tongue. So when it comes to speech, he says your speech should actually pass through these four gates. If it passes through these four gates, then like an arrow, you leave it. Otherwise, no, just retrieve it. So what are the four gates we are talking about here? The first one is, as Lord Krishna says, Satyam. Whenever you speak, I know it's difficult, but we should always be truthful. I know as small children, what are the challenges you face? Say, for example, you have not completed a project, you have not done some assignment, and if you go and tell ma'am, I did not do it, they're going to blast you, they're going to punish you, they might throw you out of the class, they might send letter for your parents. It is challenging. I'm not saying no, but still do it. Right? It is challenging, but still do it. So whatever words come out of your mouth, so you might be tempted to tell, ma'am, I forgot my book. Ma'am, I lost my book. It's very easy to get away with that, but it will affect you in a long run. Okay. So telling truth is difficult, but still do it. Okay. Then your words should be priyam. It should be very affectionate. So even if somebody has done some mistake, let's try and speak in an affectionate, nice way and encourage them to correct it and not be harsh, not be like pouncing on them. You're this, you're that, you're like that. If you do that, the person loses confidence. The person, just gives up on everything. So let's be kind. Already there's a lot of unkind people, unkind things around us. There's a lot of rudeness around us. At least let's be the change. Okay, let's be kind. That's very important. Next, it should be hitam. See, when you're talking, always talk for the benefit of the people. So this also is your thought. You have something else in the mind, something else on the tongue. Think beneficial for the other person. So when you're speaking also, say for example, you have a friend and he wants to, somehow get into some kind of a bad habit. You should be very strict and tell him no, him or her, no, this is not good for you. Always think good for others. Speak beneficial for others. Let it benefit them. Okay, that's very important. And the last one is anudvega karam. Udvega means agitation. When some people talk, you're like agitated. This, blah, 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 blah. It just agitates us so much. But our words, our speech should be anudvega. It should not cause agitation in the minds of people, but it should calm them, soothe them, show them path. Okay, that's very important. So again, to repeat, the four gates are truthfulness, kind words, beneficial words, non-agitating words. So when you speak, next time before you speak, pause and see, is it going to pass through these four gates, whatever I'm going to speak? If it is, then speak. Otherwise, don't speak. It's such a great austerity. So they say if you can control your tongue, you can control everything. Because tongue, this is the only organ which does not have a bone, so it's very difficult. It can move however it wants. It can do whatever it wants. So first, grasp that tongue and listen to me. Okay, so as I told you, you'll always be tempted. Especially I told you as children, being truthful is very difficult, but still do it. Why do you want to do it? Because you want to please Lord Ramachandra. Nobody is watching. See, nobody knows. If you still have the book in the bag and say, ma'am, I didn't bring, nobody knows. But somebody is always watching over us, and that is the Lord. So our intention in life should be, okay, my actions, my words, is it pleasing Lord? Don't ever try to be people pleaser. You can never please people. It's very difficult, but it's very easy to please Lord. He's so sweet. Even in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. I'm very happy. You don't have anything to offer, don't worry. Just offer me leaf, flower, nothing you have, at least, little water. I'm very happy. So it's very easy to please Lord, but people, it's very difficult, right? So it's always between you and God. So that's why your actions, your words, your thoughts, everything should be, towards the Lord. Is this going to please the Lord? Do it. If not, that's the biggest filter. I'm not going to do it. Right? So you can start from speech itself. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita related to this, 17th chapter, 15th verse, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. It says, austerity of speech consists in speaking words. How should they be? Truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and non-agitating. It should not agitate others. And also, it should, in regularly reciting Vedic literature. So how do we achieve this? See, I can tell you so many things. You should be like this, but how do we actually achieve it? So beautiful, as you're doing today, hear about Lord, read about Lord, chant mantras to please Lord. That is the way. It's called taming the tongue. So, when you buy a new pet, for example, dog, I've seen many dog trainers are there to teach the dog how to sit, how to walk, how to, some kind of a potty training and things like that. Like that, we have to, on our own senses, we have to train and control them. So the best thing for tongue is hear about Lord, of course, for the ears, speak about Lord, take the food that is offered to the Lord, right? So all these things, and chant mantras that pleases Lord. So when you keep doing all this, automatically the tongue will start listening to you. If the tongue is controlled, it's very easy to control the other things. Okay, so yes, as we told, thoughts affect action. See, as I told you, if you're always angry about a person you want to harm, somewhere it gets triggered and you will harm that person, because your thoughts are constantly, it is generated in the mind is tempting you to do it. So have control on your thoughts, automatically your actions will be controlled. And as said by Aristotle, he says, to be virtuous, a person must act as a virtuous person would act. So we all have this role models, right? Somewhere we fail to choose the right role model. Unfortunately, if I ask you, I'm sure you would quote some cricketer. I'm not saying it's wrong. You might be very passionate about that sport, or some film star, right? But the role model that you choose also should have the qualities that you can imbibe. If you see your role model somewhere being very aggressive, talking rude, using bad words, then we will think it's okay because my role model is doing that. So here Aristotle says, if you want to be virtuous, right? If you want to be the, somebody who's following the righteous path, then you should act as a righteous person would act. That means there's a principle called fake it until you make it. You can go and read about it. This is very nice. Sometimes we have to fake it till it becomes a habit in us. See, for example, not a very great example, but when we were small, as soon as we got up, we would like lazily sit, lethargic, we were sleepy, but our mothers taught us, first thing you should do is maybe pay respects to God, go brush your teeth. So over the years, what happened? Brushing becomes, it becomes conditioned. As soon as we get up now, we know, okay, we have to brush our teeth, right? So initially what we were doing, at least for the fear of our mother, we would like, okay, do it. But later it becomes a habit. So like that, everything can be inculcated. So if you're not able to do it, just fake it. Okay, if it's very difficult for you to, adopt something very easily, keep trying it. Okay, so this is a very revolutionary thought, right? Fake it till you make it. You should act like the person whom you want to actually become like. Okay, so I mean, it's also said, there was a study in psychological science done in 2012, how our physical acts affect our thoughts. See, for example, you're very sad, you're in a very morose mode. Just smile. When you smile, automatically it lifts your mood. Even though you're not in a mood to smile. But then sometimes the physical actions that we do somewhere affects the mind. So that's why it says, smile to lift your mood. Okay, and smile is contagious. When you smile, automatically the people around you also start smiling. So you're lifting not only your mood, but others' mood also, right? And strike a powerful pose to feel confident. Now, suppose, let's say you're going, you're all small, you're going for an interview, or let's say you're going on stage to perform something, or you're just going on stage to maybe deliver a Teacher's Day speech or something, and you're like super nervous. But you stand erect and put up a face, and then show that you're very confident. Or if you're going for an interview, as you can see, your handshake should be like very firm. These are all powerful poses that makes us feel confident. And when we do that, automatically, even mentally, we become, okay, I'm confident, I can handle this, I can do this, right? So that's what they're trying to say, that certain physical actions we do affects our mind and thoughts. Okay, always listen to happy music. Okay, this is what study in Journal of Positive Psychology says, that listen to happy music, because the music we listen to affects our mind to a great extent. So don't be listening to violin. Nowadays, it's a craze, right? The lyrics is filled with violence, and people just, I don't know what they enjoy, but they just enjoy that. So please be very choosy in what kind of way you want to entertain yourself. This is important. Mimic good leaders so that you can learn new skills. You should mimic. You should not imitate. Okay, there's a different. Okay, my leader walks like this, I'll also walk like that. My leader dresses like this. No, we're not talking about it. We're talking about their thoughts, their actions. Basically, we're talking about their interpersonal skills, how they think about others, how they speak to others, how are their interactions with others, right? So this is very, very important. So you try to mimic, and it becomes like you keep faking it at one point till you make it. That is, till it becomes your habit. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, so we have an activity, and yesterday also we had given an activity, right? The bottle demonstration. So today's activity is something very simple. I heard that many of you are struggling. So what we can do is we can post some images or something if possible, but I'm anyways going to show you how to perform this. If you're very small, you might not have heard this. In physics, there's something called resonance. Okay, usually it is performed using two tuning forks. So what they do is they keep one tuning fork stationary. They just vibrate the other tuning fork. Okay, now this is vibrating, and they bring them closer. What happens is, now this is how it's vibrating. At some point, the second tuning fork also starts vibrating. At one point, they start vibrating at the same frequency. So what we are trying to understand here is, if I am associating with this person, okay, this is my role model who's very virtuous, at some point, even I will imbibe his qualities. I'll also start resonating at the same frequency. So it's a very beautiful thing. I know we can't get tuning forks and all. So let me show you one image. You can actually do it with a ball itself. Give me a minute. I'll share that image with you. Yeah. So what you can do you see this image? You just need maybe a stick or any kind of a flute or stick or small rod or whatever. He's taken 4 balls. We don't need it. You can just take 2 balls of the same length and preferably the same weight. That's very important. And what you have to do is, you tie it just like how he has done, and then tie it to the stick and hold it, just oscillate one ball. Okay, when you do that, just leave it, stand back and watch. At some point, even the second ball starts oscillating on its own. And at one point, they'll be oscillating at the same speed. Okay, this is resonance. So it's pretty simple. You'll have thread at home, you'll have some two balls, identical balls. It takes something heavy, that's important. Okay, don't take very light, these plastic balls and all. As much as possible, if you can take two heavy objects and tie it, then it'll be easy for you to perform. So please do this. If you want, you can just take a photo and upload, or you can make a video out of it and upload. Okay, some of you want me to repeat this experiment again. As you can see, just take a simple rod or a stick. I'm sure you'll find so many sticks on the road. You can just take a stick, okay, and take two balls of the same weight. That's important. Okay, tie thread to them and tie those two balls to the rod you've taken. Hold it in your hand and you have to oscillate one ball. Stand back and watch. What happens after some time? The other ball also starts oscillating. So they will be, oscillating at the same speed. This is called resonance. Did we understand, children? So I've just put up this image. If possible, we'll post it in the description also so that you can keep that as a reference. As you can see, you don't have to take 4 balls and all here. So, you can just take 2 equal size thread and 2 same sized, same weight object, same as. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Just give me a minute. So what is the purpose of this experiment we are doing? Is how the people with whom we associate at some point, even our thoughts, our words, our actions. I just remembered one story here. I don't know, long time ago I'd heard there were actually 2 parrots, okay? 2 brother parrots or sister parrots. When they were born, they got separated, okay? And 2 parrots were actually taken by 2 different people. There was a rishi who takes one parrot, and the other parrot, the other brother or sister, will be taken by a hunter. Okay. Now, what happens? The parrot that was with rishi, okay, obviously it will acquire all the good qualities of the rishi, and the parrot that was with the hunter would have acquired the qualities. So what happens one day? There will be another rishi who is passing by, okay, and he kind of becomes a little tired. So first he comes across, this hunter's place, and he just wants to sit under a tree to rest a little while. Now this parrot is sitting on the tree under which this sage is resting, and you know what the sage hears? He says, "Cut him, chop him, let's cook him." And sage is like shaken up. Who's this? And he looks up and he sees the parrot sitting. And then he says, "What kind of a language is this? Why is this parrot speaking like that?" And he says, "I better run from here." So he leaves that place and he starts walking again after some time, because he had not taken complete rest. He was fatigued. So he will actually reach this ashram of the other rishi, where there was another tree. So he will just sit there to take shelter. And this time he hears another voice. "Oh, welcome, my dear Rishi. How can I, serve you? Do you need a glass of water? Do you need some fruits to eat?" This time the Rishi is surprised. He looks up and he sees another parrot. And look at the words, so pleasing, so nice. Why? I mean, this is just a small story I want to tell you, but this story tells us how the people with whom we associate, they impact our mind, thoughts, everything. So the parrot that was with the hunter would just repeat whatever the hunter was saying. Every day and day in and day night, he would go hunting. So he will just say, kill it, chop it, eat it. This is all he would speak. And that's what the parrot had learned. Whereas here, this was a great saint. So he would receive many guests. And the way he would speak to them pleasingly, he would serve them so nicely. And this parrot had just acquired that qualities. So that's why, children, again and again, I'm repeating, I know, but please be very careful with the kind of friends you choose. It will have a lot of impact on you, your behavior, your speech, everything. Okay, that's what we're trying to actually demonstrate in this activity of ours. I hope you're going to do that and post it. Okay, so one important thing is we learned that fake it till you make it, right? So okay, I have a role model, I want to become like them, I want to speak like them, I want to be like them. But what should be the purpose behind it? If I start speaking like them, if I start thinking like them, if I start behaving like, like them, that is not because I want to impress people. It's not because, the people should change their opinion about me, how they think about me. That is what I want to change. No, that is not the intention. The intention is self-improvement. Okay? What is my beliefs? How am I behaving? How was I yesterday? See, every day we should compare ourselves, but with whom? Our own self. How was I yesterday? How did I handle this situation? Now, today, if at all I come across that, I need to behave properly. I need to be a better person than what I was yesterday. So everything should be done on self-improvement level, not to impress others, most importantly, not to cheat others. Usually what happens is when we are with, let's say, a very, very well-known saintly person, we should not use that influence and start cheating people. Give me this much money, I will do some mystic powers. No, that is not the intention. We should not cheat others. We should not impress others. This should not be the motive. The motive should be self-improvement. I should become a better person. Okay? So a lot of story. Let's take a break now by watching the grief-struck Ayodhya story. Okay? So whatever you have heard so far, let's visually watch. Sit back and enjoy. Just give me 1 minute. I'm going to play the video for you.
My people, this morning I awoke from a dream full of dreadful omens. Guru Vashisht sees in them the coming of troubled times. But my health is failing. I'm getting old and have no more power to resist those evil forces. I have therefore decided that Ram will succeed me. He will be the next king of Ayodhya. Ram, my son, come forward. Ram, try to live up to the people's expectations. I have faith in you.
I will do my utmost to live up to the ideals you have set for us.
Long live Ayodhya! Long live Dasharatha! Long live Prince Ram!
Noisy, wretched things.
Manthara, stop abusing the birds.
Kaikeyi, is this the time to beautify yourself when great misfortune creeps upon the kingdom?
Manthara, don't you understand? Our beloved Ram is to be anointed crown prince tomorrow.
So I said, it is a misfortune. Oh, Kaikeyi, you are so innocent, so trusting. And look how King Dasharatha has betrayed your trust.
Hold your tongue, Manthara. I will never allow you to speak of the king in this way.
Why do you think the king sent Bharata away now? So conveniently before the coronation? Why?
Why? I wonder why he did that.
Kaushalya might have suggested it to the king. Yes. You know you are the king's favorite queen, and Kaushalya hates you for that. She's jealous of your youth and beauty.
What can I do?
Leave everything to this loyal and clever Manthara.
What's happened? Why this sorrow, this anger on such an auspicious night? What can I do? Come, tell me.
Tell me, O king, do you remember when you were injured in battle some years ago? I drove you to safety, and you promised to fulfill 2 boons of mine. You must grant me those 2 boons now.
Only 2 boons? You can have more if you want.
No, I don't need more than 2. The first is...
No, I cannot grant you those, Kaikeyi, not those. I'll give you all my wealth. Will that please you?
No. Do you want it to be known that a king of the solar dynasty went back on his word? I will be content with only those 2 boons.
The boons were 1. Kaikeyi's son Bharat to be made king, and 2. Ram to be banished to the forests for 14 years.
Brother, can you not hear the people's voices?
Lakshman, this is part of my fate.
But are we on that account to sit still and do nothing? This sword, is it only an ornament, just an actor's plaything?
Brother, you are part of myself, sharing the same soul with me. Please, try to understand me.
My lord, I am coming with you.
But Sita, you...
A husband's duty is his wife's too. Your fate is equally mine.
That's right. And the same soul should follow the same fate. And so, brother, I too am coming with you.
Thank you. Mother, take heart. 14 years will pass very quickly, and I will be back, seeking your blessings in no time at all.
Yes, my son.
Ram. Ram, why don't you blame me? Why don't you bear a grudge against me? That would ease my guilt.
I don't want the kingdom, nor the power. All I want are your blessings before we depart. Father.
My son, bring glory to our great line of kings. Come back safe. Who in the world can boast of a son like you? Sumantra, get ready the chariots, the elephants, horses and foot soldiers to accompany Ram to the forest.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Father, when nature herself will take care of me, what use have I for an army, for royal pageantry?
Of course, you will give Bharat this kingdom after draining it of all its wealth.
Mother, give your blessings to your departing son.
Ram, don't leave us! Remain as our king!
Beloved citizens, you know how much I love you, and I know what love you bear for me. You will show your love for me by loving my noble brother, Bharat, who is fully worthy of your love and being your king. Support him, I beg of you. Support my sorrowful father. People of Ayodhya, I appeal to you.
Rama, please.
Oh, my son!
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Just give me a minute. Okay, so we see the sorrow in Ayodhya when Lord Rama leaves. Okay, so continuing with ours. So Sumantara takes Lord Rama, Sita, Mother Sita, and Lakshmana on the chariot, and they reach the Tamasa river. Okay, so all the Ayodhya Vasis also go along, and then, when they are all resting, it becomes late in the evening. When they're all resting, the next morning, Rama wakes up early and he says, Sumantara, I don't want these people to take part in whatever is my fate. I don't want them to be a part of it. So let's quickly go from here before they all wake up. Saying so, Rama leaves the Ayodhya Vasis along with Sumantara, Lakshmana, and Mother Sita. And when Ayodhya Vasis wake up and see that their Lord is left, they are, so sorrowful, so sad. They're crying and crying. They'll think, what will we go back and answer our wives and children? Right? Saying so, sadly, they go back to Ayodhya. Now, the four of them will reach, the banks of Ganga. There, Lord Rama has a very dear friend called Guha. Okay, Guha was actually the king of Nishada. Nishada means tribes. So, generally they say, they're born of a lower caste. Tribal people are lower caste, but Lord Rama, the moment he sees Guha gets the news that Lord Rama is there, and he runs and hugs him. And he feels very sad to know the story of how Lord Rama, Lord Lakshmana, and Mother Sita have been banished. And he says, my kingdom is yours. Why don't you stay? Lord Rama says, no, I'm here just following the orders of my father. Now Guha brings him lot of delicacies to eat. Please accept it. Lord Rama says, I've mentally accepted, but I cannot eat these because I am now living like a Rishi. Okay, so, the moment he says, Guha makes arrangement of only roots, fruits, whatever Lord Rama would consume. And then Lord Rama asks, get me the, the banyan juice so that I can mat my hair. He mats his hair, and then he says, Guha, please help me to cross this river. Okay, so Guha makes all the arrangement, and when he's crossing, Lord Rama says, Sumantara, now it's time for you to go back. We will, proceed from here. And Sumantara is very painful to get separated from Lord Rama, but then he leaves the four of them and goes back to Ayodhya. Now, Lord Rama, Mother Sita, and Lord Lakshmana, they reach a place. It's a place where Ganga and Yamuna meets. Okay, and when they reach there, they reach the hermitage of Bharadwaja Rishi. Okay, so there, they're welcomed very nicely, and Bharadwaja Rishi says he takes very good care of them, and he says, why don't you stay here? But Lord Rama says, no, this is very close to Ayodhya, and our people, if they get to know, they'll keep coming and disturbing you, and I don't want that. So please tell me a place where I can go and recite. So while the conversation is happening here, Sumantara goes back to Ayodhya, and he tells that, the Lord departed on his journey, and he asked me to come back. Dasharatha just could not bear the pain, and he falls unconscious again. And this time, when all the queens go to lift up, he tells Kaikeyi, I have disowned you. You're not my wife anymore, and I would like to just spend the rest of my time with Kaushalya. And he goes to her palace. There, mourning, sad in the separation of Lord Rama, actually, he gives up his life. And here, Bharadwaja Muni assists Lord Rama, telling, why don't you go to Chitrakuta mountain? It's a very beautiful place where you have wonderful waterfalls, lovely birds, animals. It's a very nice place. You can lead your life there. Saying so, they take leave from Bharadwaj Muni, and they go there and they build, Lord Rama asks Lakshmana to build a beautiful hermitage, and Lakshmana builds a very wonderful hermitage. And so you can see here, like Guha offering respects to Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Sita continues their journey, asking Sumantara to go back, and they are meeting Bharadwaja Muni. And here, unfortunately, Dasharatha leaves his body because he could no longer bear the separation of his son. So actually before this, he just mentions, when Kaushalya is in so much pain, when he's crying out Rama, Rama, she says, it's all because of you. It's your fault. Look what you have done to my son. And Dasharatha says, I think I am just paying for the mistake I did in the past. And he actually tells a story. So Dasharatha had this gift. He could just hear the sound. Whichever side the sound is coming, he could just shoot the arrow. So it's like some kind of a Shabdavedi. They had this power. So one day while Dasharatha, kings would go on hunting. So when he was going, he could hear behind the bush some sound of water, and he thought maybe it's a big elephant. He just takes his arrow, and when he shoots, he hears the cry of a human, and he's so shaken up. He goes running to see who it is, and there is a very small teenage boy who's laying dead, laying on the ground with the arrow which has pierced his heart. And Dasharatha begs forgiveness. Here he says, well, I have old parents, they're blind, and I just come to fetch some water for them. Now you just go and inform them of this news, otherwise they'll be just waiting for me. But before that, just take out this arrow because, it's hurting me. And when he does that, that boy leaves the body, and Dasharatha actually takes that the pot of water that he had fetched, goes to the parents, and the parents think that their son has come because they were blind and they were very old. And Dasharatha gives this information that, well, I'm not your son, and this is the mistake that I did. Please forgive me. So the father says, because you did it out of ignorance, I will not curse you to die, but I will surely curse you that you will die because of separation from your most beloved son. Saying so, Dasharatha says, see, that curse is manifested, and that is why in my last few moments what I have, I cannot be with my son. Saying so, Dasharatha leaves his body. Okay, so now when Dasharatha dies, none of his sons were present. Rama and Lakshmana were on exile. Bharata, Shatrughna were in Kaikeyi in their grandparents' house. So Vasishta Muni, he makes arrangement, he keeps the body in a vat of oil so that, till the last rites are performed, it can be preserved. And they send a messenger to bring back Bharata. First of all, they say, as I mentioned in the beginning, now Dasharatha is not there, Lord Ramachandra is not there. So a kingdom without a king is what happens to the people? They'll be like left without any guidance. They become like orphans. So he says, immediately call Bharata. Anyways, that was the announcement done. He's going to be the king. So they send a messenger, and the messenger brings, Bharata. They tell Bharata, please come back. It's the king has ordered. And Bharata, the previous night, would have had some bad dreams. He's worrying about his father. Is my father all right? And when he gets this information, immediately they start their journey. So it takes 7 days for them to reach from Kaikeyi to Ayodhya. When he comes, he first runs to his father's palace, and he sees that his father is not there. And immediately he comes to his mother's palace. But actually, before he reached the palace, on the way, he sees that whole Ayodhya is drowning in sorrow. Nobody is performing their duties. Everything is so morose. There's so much of sadness. The sadness is so much that it's mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana that the cows stop giving milk to their calves. People stop. They're shocked. They're shunned. They don't perform any of their duties. They don't like to cook. There's so much of moroseness, just unimaginable pain of separation from the Lord. Okay, so on top of it, now the king, they've lost their beloved Dasharatha. So when Bharata is coming, he sees something is not right. And then, when he runs to his mother's palace, he asks, where is father? Where is our father? And she says, well, your father died. And, Dasharatha is heartbroken. He starts weeping and crying. And then he says, I want to meet Lord Rama. That's when Kaikeyi says, oh, Lord Rama left to the forest. And she says, you know what? I made all these arrangements so that you can become the king. Now the whole world is drowning in sorrow. And here is Kaikeyi. She's so happy. And when Bharata gets to know that, the cause of his father's death and the sorrow of his brothers or because of Kaikeyi, he immediately gets angry and he says, such a wicked woman you are. He pushes her, says, what a wicked woman you are. I disown you today. You're not my mother. Okay. And he says, you think I'm going to take up this kingdom? Never. I will. I'm always my Lord Rama's servant. Okay. If he's not ruling, then I'm not ruling. I will also, go through the exile period just like him. And he runs to Vasishta and he says, I want to bring Lord Rama back. I want him to be made the king. Vasishta says, hold on, first you perform the last rites of your father. It's been quite some time, and they perform the last rites, and Bharata makes all the arrangement to actually go and bring Lord Rama. While Bharata says this, you know what happens to Kaikeyi? The so-called illusion that she was in because of Mantra's influence breaks. And she repents so much. Okay, so finally, once the last rites are performed, Bharata, along with his entire army and all the Ayodhya Vasis, also want to see where Lord Rama is. So Bharata comes to, he reaches Tamasa river and he crosses, comes to Ganges, and there he meets Guha. Guha sees that Bharata is coming with so many armies, so he's thinking, what's his plan? Is he planning to harm Lord Rama? So he asks him, what's your plan? Are you going to kill Rama? And it hurts Bharata so much. Remember, yesterday we were telling the meaning of name Bharata means somebody who has to carry a heavy burden. What a heavy burden Bharata was carrying for no fault of his, right? And then he explains that he wants to take Lord Rama back. Then he reaches Bharadwaj Muni. There he's honored. And Bharadwaj Muni also taunts him, just to test him. So what's your intention? And this hurts Bharata. Well, after all that, they actually get to know that Lord Ramachandra is in Chitrakuta, and he comes along with his army and he goes and falls on the feet of Lord Rama and begs him, my dear Rama, please come back. Please come back and take up, the throne which is rightfully yours. And, Ramachandra says, please allow me to execute the duties of my father. And he just asks, the welfare of his father, his mother's. When he gets to know that his father has died, Lord Rama becomes very, very sad. He's crying and, he's asking his father to forgive him that he could not be with him in the last time of his. And he performs the last rite by offering water near that Mandakini river. Okay, but Lord Rama is very, very, strong in his vow that he had taken. So Bharata and everybody understands, okay, Lord Rama is not going to return back to Ayodhya. So he requests Lord Rama that at least give me your sandals that you have. I would like to keep this as your representation. I would like to keep it on the throne, and under your guidance, I will just direct the administration. I am not going to be the king. I cannot. Okay. So hearing this, Lord Rama is very pleased, and he does as Bharata requests. Bharata also says, I'll wait for 14 years. Even after that one day you delay, I'm going to enter the fire. I'm not going to live. I cannot live in your separation. Okay. Saying so, he carries the sandals of Lord Rama on his head, and he heads back to Ayodhya. But on the way, he also says to Vasishta Muni, I am not going to be the king. I'm not going to lead a comfortable life when my brothers there are suffering. So you know what he does? He actually lives in a nearby village, okay, which was pretty close by to Ayodhya, called Nandigram. Okay, he installs Lord Rama's padukas, and under the guidance there, he actually starts just overlooking the administration part. So here we can see how Bharata is worshipping Lord Rama's padukas. And not only that, he also, just like his brother, wears a tree bark, deer skin, mats his hair, and he lives just like how Lord Ramachandra is living, because he says it's all because of my mother's fault, and somewhere indirectly I'm the reason. Now, what was happening here was Bharata sometimes was being cursed by the people because of you, Lord Rama is like this. They would spit at him, they would pelt stones at him, but still Bharata was tolerating all this. So this is why he was carrying such a heavy burden of somebody who had caused trouble to Lord Rama when he was at no fault. Right? So what an amazing character Bharata was. He was actually, all he had in his mind was, I'm the servant of Lord Ramachandra. Now here, after Bharata and his mothers, everybody meet Lord Rama. Lord Rama could not stay in Chitrakuta anymore. Their memories were disturbing him. So he said, Lakshmana, let's, continue the journey. Let's go to some other place. So on the way, they meet Atri Rishi and Mother Anasuya. Okay, there, they stay there for some time, and Mother Anasuya actually blesses Mother Sita with wonderful garland. These are all celestial ornaments, garlands. So the garland would never dry, right? The ornaments, everything that would protect her. And Lord Rama resides there for some time, and then he takes permission. He leaves to Dandakaranya from there. Okay, so with this, we come to the end of Ayodhya Kanda. So let's watch the video of what we just discussed. Please sit back and enjoy. Just give me a minute.
Take care, Ram, Lakshman, Sita.
You take care too. And please, look after my father.
I will. 6 months pass by. King Dasharatha's palace is enveloped in darkness.
Ram, forgive your father. Ram. He is free from the sufferings of this world.
Bharat, Kaikeyi's son, who was away in Kaikeyi visiting his grandfather, was called back to Ayodhya.
Mother, what is this? What has happened?
Oh, Bharat, you have come at last.
Tell me, Mother, is it true? Father has passed away? Oh, God. Then it is true.
Yes, but he left us a great honor.
What is it? What have you done, you depraved, heartless woman?
What perverse tongue poisoned your mind?
Brother, it is she! It is this evil hag who has sowed the seeds of madness in our mother's heart!
Please forgive me. I was only thinking of you two. Kaikeyi and Bharata.
Stop it! I will cleave your filthy brain in two!
That's enough. Don't let her blood defile our father's sword. You are no longer my mother. Let the world know it.
Please forgive me. Forgive your poor mother, Bharat. Please. Forgive me. Forgive me.
What are you saying, Bharat? Our father is dead?
Brother, I share your grief.
Father, forgive this poor Ram. Forgive your son, please.
Ram, I appeal to you. Absolve me of my mother's sin. Come back to Ayodhya and accept the kingdom which is yours by right.
Bharat, what your mother has done is not in question here. Remember, the great emperor Dasharatha has commanded us, you to rule the kingdom, and I to live in this forest for 14 years. It is our duty to abide by our father's wishes, whether we like it or not.
You have commanded me. It is enough. But one thing is certain. I will not accept the kingdom for myself, but for you. Please bless this brother of yours to rule the kingdom with strength and courage. I will rule for the next 14 years, but only till you return.
Bharat, my brother.
Ram.
Long live Ram! Long live Bharat!
Vanau pavana sama kupina antar. Vanau pavana sama kupina antar. Swagat hetu ahay nishdo. लोहित नव पल्लव कर कूपिनांतर कूपिनांतर सुमन पल्लवित मनोभावैव लतावितान छत्र चामरैव चारण गायन शुक पिक सारिक मधुर स्वरालि निरंतर समंत सुख कर समंत सुख कर मुक्ति लाभ वरदान अयाचित पंजर पालित शुकी कदाचित मुक्ति लाभ वरदान अयाचित सुख साधन अति सुलभ बनेह जीवन नहीं बंधन कर अतिशय शुभ कर अतिशय शुभ कर राजगृहं वा कुटजं दीनं सघनतरुतले छायाशयनम् उपधानीयं कान्तभुजायति तर्हि गाढसुखनिद्राभर वन उपवन सम कूपिनान्तर
Okay. I hope you like that. Just a second. Okay. So with that, we have come to the end of Ayodhya Kanda, where we can see how Rama, Lakshmana, Mother Sita, they were all living happily in the Dandakaranya forest. Okay. All right. So this is we every day we also see the pastime plays, so we call it the sacred spot. So this is the Chitrakuta, the initial days where Lord Bharata comes and meets Lord Rama. So this is the pastime place. And time for Nam Ramayana. So every day we glorify the Lord. So the two wonderful, wonderful sisters are going to teach us. Let's repeat the Nam Ramayana before we take up the questions. Okay, I want to share that in some time. So I request when the elder sister is playing, listen to it carefully, rather when she's singing, and when the younger sister is singing, let's please recite along with her. It's a beautiful thing where we are just glorifying Lord Ramachandra. Okay, just give me a minute.
अगणित गुणगण भूषितरा अवनीतनया कामितरा 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 रागाचन्द्र समाननरा पितृवाक्याश्रितकाननरा रागाचन्द्र समाननरा पितृवाक्याश्रितकाननरा प्रियगुह विनिवेदित पदरा ताक्षालित निज मृदुवदना प्रियगुह विनिवेदित पदरा ताक्षालित निज मृदुवदरा भरद्वाज मुखानन्दकरा चित्रकूटादिनिकेतनरा भरद्वाज मुखानन्दकरा चित्रकूटादिनिकेतनरा दशरथ सन्तत चिन्तितरा कैकेयी तनयाचितरा दशरथ सन्तत चिन्तितरा कैकेयी तनयाचितरा विरचित निज मृदु कर्मकरा भरतार्पित निज पादुकरा विरचित निज मृदु कर्मकरा भरतार्पित निज पादुकरा राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय सीताराम
Isn't that wonderful? Thanks to these wonderful sisters. Okay, so yes, we wanted to announce the winner for yesterday, but I don't see any of you have posted the demonstration. So it was only the quiz that you all have taken, but the demonstration is not done. So children, please do it on the same day. Like for example, if Balakanda, there's a demonstration given, you have to submit it the same day. Because as I told you, every day we would pick one winner. So it's not like, we do it on the last day. Every day there would be a winner picked up. Okay, so we request you, today's demonstration also, they're going to help you with the image, and probably if you want to know how to actually post it, if any of you're struggling with that part also, maybe we can just put up the steps, okay, so that you'll be able to post it. And it'll be nice if you can, today's experiment or, demonstration, activity, whatever we give, if you can post it before 3 o'clock tomorrow, because our session is at 5:30, so it will be really helpful. Okay, so time to take up some questions. Let's see. Hare Krishna Mataji, what does virtuous mean? Virtuous means somebody who's got very high standards, very high moral. Somebody who's extremely good in action, words, heart, everything. Like our Lord Rama, he was very virtuous. Why? Because he always spoke the truth. He always kept up his promise. He respected his elders, right? He stood by what was right, righteousness. Okay, so he's like an epitome of all these moral values. Somebody who carries so many wonderful values, we call that person virtuous. Okay, that's the meaning of being virtuous. Okay. What was the age of Rama when he was going to become the king? Well, actually, when Rama came back from exile, he was around 39 when he actually became the king after the exile. So maybe he must be around roughly 26, 27, roughly around that age. I can give you the exact number. I'll check and get back to you. Which river did Rama cross to reach? So to reach Chitrakuta, he crossed Ganga. Okay. First he crossed Ganga, then once he sent back Sumantra, he crossed another place where Ganga and Yamuna meets. Okay, so he crossed that and he reached Bharadwaj Muni's ashram. There he got to know that there's a beautiful mountain called Chitrakuta. Okay, so it's a place where Ganga and Yamuna meets. Okay, Mataji, can we send it to you personally? It would be very difficult if all of you start, personally sending it. Okay, I will just take a minute. Maybe I can show you how you can upload the file. Probably I'll try to share that with you. Let's see if that could help you all. Okay, so exact age is 25. Okay. Mataji, I have a question that where will you share the quiz? It's not, no, we are not sharing it on WhatsApp. The link is being shared. See, after everyday session is done, okay, the recording will be available on our YouTube. So if you go there under the comments section, you will find the link. Actually, it will be posted right now. I'll request Dhanraj Prabhu to post the quiz for today's session. So you can also see it right away. But in case, if you cannot capture it or you want to come back, okay, so they say it's done. I'm sure you should be able to see it now in the comment section. Yeah, the link is already posted. Okay. So yeah, we are not sending it on WhatsApp because it will create a lot of confusion. It is there in the comment section. It will also be there in the description. So you can go to our everyday's recording, okay, and you can see it below the video. It will be available. Okay. Any other questions? Lavitra, very good. You've already done the quiz. Already posted. Yes, it's posted here. Yes, it's posted. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me quickly show you. Let's see if that's going to be of any help to you. Just give me 1 minute. I'll try and help you with how to upload. But one question, the answer you told is different from the answer you told. Which question, Lavitra? Can you please tell me? You can post the question again. Yesterday's winner. That's what I told. Nobody posted the experiment. See, the rule is, you should post your experiment and also you should get 10 on 10. That's what I announced on day 1. So you should complete the experiment. You should send us a photo or a video. Okay. And also you should get 10 on 10. Only such child will get question 7. You want the answer for that? Let's wait it out. Actually, on day 7, I'm going to discuss all that, because what if some people have not taken yesterday's quiz and they're taking it today? They'll get to know the answer. So Lavitra, hold on. On the last day, I'm going to discuss the quiz with you. All 6 days quiz we're going to discuss. Okay. So let me see if I can help you all in showing. Maybe your parents can be there if you're very small children. Your parents can be there to actually watch out how to upload it onto the drive. Okay, so I'm sure we all know how to go to our drive, right? So we click over here, we go to drive, and all we have to do is you can go to new. You can probably create a folder if you want to. You can call it Ramayana Kids Camp. So you can create a folder, and in that everyday activity you can upload. So you would have taken a photo, you would have taken a video. So you can just say file upload, and wherever you have taken, you can upload that particular file. And all you have to do is just click on these 3 dots and you will see the share, right? So you can share the link or you can copy and paste the link. But before you do it, please make sure you've given us proper access. Don't keep it restricted. Then we will not be able to open. You can just say anyone with the link. This is a very important step. If you keep it restricted, like how you can see mine, then even if you post it, we will not be able to view it. Okay, so you can just say anyone with the link and copy that link that you have and just go to our video where I told you, right? You can just go to the comment section, or you can go to the preferably the comment section, and you can post it there. We are surely going to watch your video or photo, whatever you've taken. We are also going to evaluate your quiz. And if both our criteria are satisfied, and also one important criteria is please attend every day. Okay, that is also important. But since we are announcing it on a daily basis, just make sure the activities are done and you have attempted the quiz. All right, Lavitra, does that answer your question? So if you're specifically asking me for any question number, let's do it on last day. Okay, because some people might be taking it. So it's like you'll be helping them with the answer. So let's hold on to that. Okay, and also children, if possible, try to do the quiz post the session. It'll be nice so you can focus, on what I'm. Otherwise, the last bit you'll be missing out. So please try and focus. And once I complete the session, it'll hardly take 5 minutes. So before you close your system for the day, you can do the quiz. Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions, children? If you want this how to post also, maybe we'll make a short video and put it in our description so that, if any of your parents have missed, they can take guidance from there also and they can upload it. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Matajis, do we have any other questions? Okay. So children, thank you so much for being with us today in this journey of Ayodhya Kanda. And we will meet again tomorrow with one more interesting Kanda. So we are actually, I answered this. Which river did Rama cross to reach Chitrakuta? So it's the, the place where Ganga and Yamuna meets. Okay, so near the banks of Ganges soon. Right? Yes, thank you, children. See you all tomorrow. And please do attend the session. Please take up the quiz and please do upload it. Fine. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice, wonderful, blissful. You've heard about Lord Rama, so I'm sure even in your sleep, you should be dreaming about Rama. So we're Rama conscious for the next 7 days, not only 7 days, but should impact our life as well. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Jay.